Hey, welcome back to the NeverBoard gaming community in Spring Hill, Florida. Alex Springen here with Sacco. Back on the mic for you for our standard Showdown events. We have David Rodriguez piloting Mono Black Aggro against Anthony Miscar piloting Blue White Approach. I think this matchup kind of favors the aggro deck, as aggro decks often do beat control decks. However, the blue white approach decks. There's a lot of people who play blue white approach around these parts that tend to like run uh, 7 or 8 different wrath effects. So it's not going to be super easy for aggro to win. That said, D-Rod is packing quite a lot of one drops. We've seen him find multiple copies of Night Market Lookout in many games. He's dropped one turn one here as well. But he's on the draw. He's got fewer lands. So we'll see how things develop.
Yeah, this is exactly how Black wants to start out. Get a lot of damage in quick and early and try to make him waste his resources on these little nerds.
Viscar's got an Essence Scatter for that Vicious Conquistador, but the Night Market Lookout is going to get in scot-free, 21 to 18.
Yeah, I think it feels a little bad to have to, like, Essence Scatter a 1-1.
Yeah, but, well, it's a 1-2, actually.
Oh, 1-2,
yeah.
Excuse me.
The Night Market Lookout's a 1-1. The Vicious Conquistador is a 1-2.
Alright, Dread Wanderer coming in. So now, even if he does manage to wipe his board at some point, he's going to have a little bit of a presence. Ooh, and 2 of them.
I mean, unless it's Settle the Wreckage. Settle the Wreckage gets around Dread Wanderer just fine.
Truly. Yeah, there's a fine line you have to tote here with these aggro decks of choosing like whether or not to overextend and get really push for the game. Because your opponent might have that 4 mana up and threatening to settle. They could be just bluffing it, and then you end up losing because of it.
Viscar opting to aggressively use his Field of Ruin here just to get a white source out. He doesn't actually care about if near dead lands. He's not scared at all by if near dead lands. It's just that he wants to make sure he gets the white mana now, so that if he drops a Glacial Fortress or another Plains, he'll have Settle the Wreckage available. Right now he's stuck on 2 blue and a white exactly.
Yeah. Alright. Ooh, nice to play the tap land.
Gotta stick with the irrigated farmland and take at least one more turn of damage. Maybe he's got the turn 5 Fumigate to make up for it, but who knows.
Yeah, that's a bad feeling. Especially, you noticed he pulled that card off the top of his deck and just threw the land down, so I'm thinking that means his hand's just full of spells.
Yeah. That's not necessarily a good sign for the control deck either, because they need a lot of lands to win. If they don't get there, the aggro deck eventually catches up and just crushes. And there's the
Scrap Heap Scrounger.
Yeah, Scrap Heap Scrounger. I completely forgot the name of the card for some reason. It's been a while since I've seen it.
Yeah, your Mardu vehicle days are long gone.
Yeah, well, that heyday was actually like last year when I was at Magfest. Back when Smuggler's Copter was still legal and it was played in literally every aggro deck.
Yeah, what a great card, Smuggler's Copter. Sad to see it go from standard, but had to.
Here we go, D-Rod swinging with everything, daring Anthony Miscar to cast that Subtle Wreckage, and he's got it.
That's gonna hurt.
So now Miscar looks to be stabilized, at least for the time being.
Right.
At 9 life, but D-Rod going to have that much more mana to play with and that much thinner of a deck to top deck some gas.
Yeah, seriously, it makes a big difference here, like late in the game when you're living off the top deck. Now a lot of the lands are out of the way. You can finally pull answers and more creatures to continue this onslaught.
Oh yeah, this is one of the reasons why that Vampire deck I've been playing is just does not live in fear of Settle the Wreckage at all. Like, sure, give me like 6 land. I'll just top deck more gas.
And I likely have 2 to 3 Vicious Conquistadors or Legion Conquistadors in my hand. Anyway.
Exactly.
All right, but he does get the Amit here.
Amit Eternal, always big. He gets it past counter magic, which means Miscar's got to have Farm to Market or maybe another Settle the Wreckage.
Right. See anything? No. No.
Declare combat. Enter for 5. There's Farm to Market. Oh wait, no, that's not Farm to Market.
Ooh,
That's
commit or no?
Commit, yeah, commit.
Commit memory. This might have been a better target, so I'm glad he kind of baits it out.
Yeah, you gotta make some kind of play here. Glint Sleeve and an Aethersphere Harvester are gonna come down, give D-Rod 3 energy.
I love Aethersphere Harvester in this build.
Absolutely.
It's so good. Just like when your opponent finally gets a chance to stabilize and get some presence on their board, you're just gonna evade, go right overhead. And it kind of fits with the lifelink strategy, making you really hard to take down.
And D-Rod actually opting not to spend his energy here. He's going to hold on to that 3 energy for now.
Strange. I guess he wants to make sure the Harvester is going to be doing good.
Bone Picker. Gonna get disallowed.
Beautiful foil disallowed. Love it.
Yeah, I wish I had one of those for my Azuri Commander deck. crewing the Harvester, giving it lifelink. I don't think you really need the lifelink in this matchup. It is a control deck. However, that is more damage than Glintsley Siphoner just swinging without a vehicle. This card again missing a land drop. Gonna have to pass and watch D-Rod crew this Harvester again. This time no lifelink. Anthony goes for 3. Another Ammon Eternal.
An unnecessary extension, but I guess it's safe just in case he has the removal options.
Again, he decided not to spend his energy to draw an extra card off that Siphoner. You think he would have done that once by now.
Yeah, a little surprising. I don't think the lifelink is that important. No, nor does he. Wait, how much does it cost? Just 1 energy?
Just 1 energy, yeah.
Okay.
And Ethersphere Harvester gives you 2 when it enters the battlefield. And again, this card cannot find that 6th land. I think he might be sitting on a Torrential Gearhulk here that he can't cast. And that's what's holding him back.
So while he was able to fend off black for a while, it looks like maybe right here, unless bar another Settle the Wreckage, he might be in big trouble.
Well, the vehicle will give you some safety against Settle the Wreckage here because it looks all that instead of the crew inside. Just going to swing with the Ethersphere by itself. Force Anthony to make a play. He's got Cast Out. That'll make the Ammon Eternal smaller.
Dang. That's sad, man. Right there, he could have maybe just would have won the game if he swung out, but I guess we still can't know if he had to settle or not.
He was trying to play around it, respecting it instead of trying to force it. Cycle Sensor, still no land. How many cards has Miskar drawn and like scribed to the bottom and still not found that all-important 6th land against Torrential?
Yeah, that's extremely unfortunate.
Looks like he's got another Cast Out in his hand to take out that Ammon Eternal.
Just gets in for 2, leaves him at 1. Not much of a chance to come back here, but you never know. You really never know. He's got to find mana.
He really needs an untapped land. There it is.
Finally.
Now he could stabilize. 20 at 1 life to 26.
Still going to be really tough because all he needs is a like a Night Market Lookout or a Vicious Conquistador, and just can end the game.
Well, the Ethersphere Harvester isn't available to crew, so
Can't tap it right away, yeah.
yeah, gonna have to wait a turn, give Anthony another draw phase.
Oh my gosh, draw another card with Glint Sleeve.
When is he gonna do it? I can't understand why he hasn't done it yet. This is the exact time to do it. He should have done it earlier.
Yeah, when under this much pressure, he's got one thing on his mind and is winning the games with the
Oh,
card
but
he
he's
has.
got Bantu the Glorified. That will end it. Can Anthony find a counterspell for this Bantu?
Bum, bum, bum. Flicking through his cards, he looks a little defeated.
Trying to find some way to ground this. Supreme Will not do it. He's going to Supreme Will to dig for an answer.
He could disallow, right? Oh, doesn't find it.
Does not find the disallow. Bantu going to sacrifice Glint Sleeve Siphoner, and that will be game 1 going to D-Rod.
Well done. He's been performing pretty well with this mono black deck at our tournaments.
Oh yeah, because nobody sees it coming. Nobody sees like all the different tools that this deck can do, because it's not just combat that can beat you. It's not just like straight turn everything sideways. That Ethersphere Harvester is extremely important in aggro versus aggro matchups. It's also extremely important for getting around Settle the Wreckage. You saw Bantu winning the game here. You know, he doesn't even need haste creatures. He just has to get them to a low enough life total where Bantu by itself can finish you off.
Now, Aethersphere, it's a crew 2, right?
Crew 1.
It's really crew 1?
Crew 1.
That's an incredible card, man. That's underrated.
That's synergy with Night Market Lookout.
Oh my goodness.
That's why it's in the deck. That incidental life gain will help you go far against other aggro decks, especially mono red.
Amazing. That's got to be the best crew 1 available. Holy smokes. Now that Smuggler Copter's out.
The best crew 1 available, yeah. I mean, the best vehicle in Standard I would still think is Heart of Kirin. However, Heart of Kirin has been kind of falling by the wayside as vehicles has not seen as much play as it used to. And also the Red-Green Monsters decks aren't playing it anymore.
I really hope vehicles aren't like a dead thing after this Standard block. I hope that we get to see more of them in the future going forward.
Well, the ones from Ixalan are going to stay Standard legal, but they're not very good. I mean, the Fel Flagship is the only one that I've seen see any significant amount of play, and it's really only in the Pirates tribal decks that are like tier 2, tier 2.5.
Another one I like is that gigantic one that's like a full Glory Bringer. Was it Consulate or Sky Ship?
Sky Sovereign,
Sky
console flagship,
Sovereign,
yeah. That's Glory Bringer before Glory Bringer. And it can hit Planeswalkers too.
Mishkar Consulting Facebook Messenger.
Okay, guys, I just lost. What do I
How
do?
do I beat this deck, guys? I'm in trouble.
That's illegal in competitive REL.
Where
not
can I
not
find
even kidding
land?
about that.
Really? They have phone rules?
Yeah, you can't pull out your phone during the match. You got to put it away and then.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
No consulting Google on rulings.
You can call a judge all you want if there's a ruling you're looking for. You just can't get outside help.
Makes sense.
Looks like all he's doing is just looking up a card.
I wonder what card.
Don't know. His thumb won't tell us.
I know, conveniently placed thumb. It was a blue card, so it must be something from either his deck or
Yeah.
maybe a card he's got an idea for. Who knows?
Maybe a card he's just trying to buy online. I don't know.
Need this to win.
Express delivery. Put it directly in library.
In the future. Jeff Bezos, when are you going to deliver us these? Teleport the cards directly into our library,
Yeah.
please.
Forget the drones. We just want them teleported directly into our decks.
We were promised jetpacks by this point in time. We are severely behind the curve.
Jetpacks. We were promised flying cars. We are 3 years overdue for flying cars and hoverboards. Where are they? The only hoverboards we got are those really dangerous wheeled things.
Oh yeah, I ain't messing with those.
Ugh, nobody should.
We got people like mobbing around on segways at the mall right next to us, which is very humorous to me. And I actually saw someone hit a curb and go down on one. It will not
Ouch.
save you. It will not stabilize you from all falls.
No, it will not. And I've ridden Segways before. I did the Segway tours when I was in D.C. a few years ago.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, don't ride segways with your hands in your pockets.
No, keep them on the handlebars. I can ride my Segway with no handlebars. All right, so duress coming out of D-Rod's hand on his turn one. Going to take out that disallow.
That should be helpful, and it's going to give him a lot of information here. Trying to feel how he should play around this. Or just ignore it and just keep going anyway. Seems to be the best bet for black.
Information is always good, and that's one of the reasons duress is such a strong card. One of these night market lookouts is going to get Essence Scatter. Here we go again. David Rodriguez doing a David Rodriguez.
Yep. Pulling night market lookouts out of his pocket for days.
Not literally out of his pocket. He's not cheating, clearly.
Yeah.
We apologize if anybody thought that.
No, he has a marsupial pouch, and he keeps his hand inside of it.
Just full of night market lookouts, all with green sleeves on them. Kitesail Freebooter, also a great card. We've seen a lot of this.
Very cool. I'm imagining this has got to be sideboard technology here.
Yeah, most likely. We've seen a lot of this card in Modern, in the human stacks. It
Grabs a
ruins-
cast out. This is a big deal.
Yeah, well, he doesn't grab a cast out. Anthony cycled a cast out in response.
Oh, I see.
He's going to grab a Glimmer of Genius. And then a Dread Wanderer coming down. D-Rod making maximal use of his mana.
Good curvage. Right, control doing what it normally does, playing a land and saying pass turn. He is threatening to settle here.
And that's a Blue Sleeve Siphoner.
I think I don't even swing with the freebooter anymore.
He's going to do it anyway. Try and bait it out. There's a farm to market. That'll get back to Glimmer of Genius.
He wants it back real bad.
He wants it back so bad he's willing to let that night market lookout live.
And so when you see your opponent do something like that, you kind of have a free pass on knowing they do not yet have settled the wreckage. Because why would he not have done it right there?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he could have drawn it just now, but who knows? No way to tell until they cast it.
Yeah, I get in trouble trusting probability too much in this game.
Lost Legacy.
Oh, man. So, he's thinking hard. Does he have the counterspell? I imagine that D-Rod is going to be calling Approach.
Yeah, Approach of the Second Sun seems the obvious call here. Also gives him information about Anthony's sideboard choices. He was kind of done sideboarding really, really quick, too. Spent all that time looking at his phone while D-Rod was finishing up.
Yeah, that's one of the coolest parts about the Lost Legacy kind of card is that you, not your opponent, you get to go through their whole library, give it a gander, write down a list if you want.
I mean, your opponent gets to shuffle their own deck afterwards, however.
Ooh, so deep in thought here. I wonder what he's got.
I mean, he's already telegraphing that he's got permission. I'm sorry. That's
Truly, I think you're right.
Yeah.
He says, have at it.
He thought about the Supreme Will, chose not to cast it here.
He really wants the Glimmer, I guess.
Yep.
Seems to be a better play. And as we predicted, he chose Approach the Second Sun. We're seeing him pull all those copies out. Don't miss any.
I hope he didn't miss one. I thought I saw one earlier, but he's pulled out 3, which is good enough.
He's probably like, that's all I got, man. him. You never trust him.
No, you always got to look. Give it another look over just to make sure you're not seeing things. Does he have the fourth one in his deck? No, that wasn't
that one.
Oh wait, yeah, he does. I thought that was
Almost
a blank.
missed one. Oh my god.
I knew he skipped one. I knew I wasn't seeing
Good
things.
looking out.
Good on D-Rod for being thorough and giving that second once over.
Although scummy, how would it be handled if like you lost Legacy and your opponent grabs 3 and you go, oh, I only have 3, and they listen to you and they leave your 4th in there?
I believe that's considered misrepresenting the board state. Whereas if you just grab 3 and your opponent said nothing, then you'd be screwed.
I see.
All right, so Supremo going to be used to Impulse after Anthony takes some more face damage.
It's got him real low here. Alright, he's going to need to find like a Gear Hulk or something to help stop this slew of creatures coming down his throat.
Anthony's still got that Glimmer of Genius from earlier in his hand, too. So I don't know when he's going to have an opportunity to cast that, but he's got to do something about D-Rod's board if he wants that opportunity. And the extra draw off of Glintsleeve Siphoner. Finally, he does it.
He's got it. He didn't forget.
He didn't forget this time. And a Duress. Now what? Do you Glimmer in response?
No, he lets him pull the Glimmer.
You're just going to let him pull the Glimmer, showing off that Torrential Gearhulk in that Plains, knowing that
That's kind of bad news, actually.
Yeah, he's got the resources available to do whatever he wants with that Gearhulk, so D-Rod just going to swing all out, force a play. There's Farm to Market, so we can cast the farm half.
I kind of find that surprising. I thought he might just Glimmer there.
I thought he would too, but I think he wanted to protect his life total, which I can't blame him for.
Yeah, he's getting real low.
And yeah, and the juicy target of Glintsleeve Siphoner seems pretty important.
Yeah, although if he was out of energy, it's still not really enough.
Yeah. He should actually have 1 energy right now, because he did attack.
Truly, actually, yeah. Unless he was saying he did it before combat there, which is possible.
No, it's not possible, because
Oh, because
Farm
he
can
had
only...
a block, yeah, my bad.
Well, no, Farm can only target attacking creatures.
Oh, that too.
Yeah.
That too. So it should have 1 energy.
Well,
If he plays another Glintsleeve, that'll actually make a difference.
that's not a Glintsleeve, that's a Yahenni.
Oh, Ahmed, actually, right?
Oh, it's an Amit, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, another Ahmed Eternal.
Glimmer of Genius in response, trying to find a permission spell. I think he might have found it. Nope, it resolves.
Not that big of a threat. I mean, got a fine blocker. Oh, and here's the sideboard card coming in.
Regal Caracol. How many times have we seen this thing come down and make a difference?
Yeah, this card is insane. It's really highly powerful. I'm surprised there aren't more decks just based around it in general.
I mean, there's a lot of token decks, but even the token decks don't run Regal Caracol. They're just making tokens 1 or 2 at a time and then trying to double up with Anointed Procession.
Well, perhaps when the Dominaria set releases, we're going to see some more fun experimentation with the white cards, besides just in control decks or token decks.
If nothing else, David Rodriguez is sitting on a couple copies of Ifnir Deadlands, so if that Torrential Gearhulk ever becomes a threat, he has a way to shrink it down in size.
Yeah, and I think right now he could probably do something to make it not want to block that Amit. But he's got enough kitty cats that I don't think he'll be blocking with the Gearhulk.
You have to leave the Avid Eternal on defense. Scrap Heap Scrounger coming down, not really going to help much here. Swing with Torrential. David goes to 18.
So are the cats are 3/3s, the tokens?
The tokens are 2/2s.
Oh, okay.
They get +1/+1 from the
And
real
life.
card itself. So, well, they have nothing naturally as well.
Oh, okay, great. I
But
see.
they're 2/2s. And the real Caracol itself is a 3/3. Get rid of the Caracol, they shrink. So I think you can get aggressive here with this Scrap Heap Scrounger if you want, and try to offer a trade with one of the tokens, and then bring the Scrap Heap Scrounger back again.
So this is where he's really going to pray for something like that Aether Sphere Harvester or a Bone Picker.
Aether Sphere Harvester would be great, Bone Picker would be great, any sort of evasion.
Yeah, wouldn't he have enough right now to pop an Ifnir,
He's
kill
got-
one of the tokens, and play the Bone Picker for the reduced cost?
Yes, he does. He's got exactly 6.
Yeah, but that's very wishful thinking when he just has 1 card sitting in his hand. So,
It's not that wishful. If the 1 card is Bone Picker, it'll work.
oh, he does it.
He's going to crack an Ifnir Deadlands now. Does he kill a token, or does he shrink the Caracol, or shrink the Torrential? He's thinking about it.
So this is kind of a tough choice here.
This is a mistap, too. We should have used the other Ifnir Deadlands for colorless mana.
Now he'll have to take life if he does have any other card in his hand to play.
So he's going to get rid of a token. Is this Bone Picker about to come down? Nope. Not yet, if he's got it. Not yet, but he does take care of the token before swinging. Settle the wreckage.
Yowza.
That hurts.
Feels bad, man. It looks like Anthony is going to be stabilizing here, pulling out with only one card left in D-Rod's hand. It's going to be a little hard to come back from this.
I couldn't get a good look at what it was, so...
So he's going to search out for a bunch of mana. Scrap Heap is exiled, too, so he's not going to be getting any kind of a replay value out of that.
We were just talking about, offering a trade for one of the tokens and then bringing it back. Not going to happen now. Just
He's got 10 damage, 2-turn clock on him, too.
Yeah. Yeah, he does. Yeah, that was a mistap earlier. But that's not a Bone Picker, that's just a Dreadwater. Glimmer of Genius.
So now you're seeing what happens when Control finds their mana, as opposed to game 1.
Yeah, this is how the blue-white approach deck is supposed to work.
Oh, man.
Oh, doubling up on the Caracals here, so now they give each other lifelink, and the tokens will be 3/3s.
Turning Dan's board into a litter box.
Kicking some sand in D-Rod's face. What is this? 5, 8, 12 damage. Dan Rodriguez falls to 5. Or is it 12 or 13? 5?
Well, now the other cat's buffing it too, right? So.
Yeah. Well, whatever the case, whether it's a miscalc or not, he does have death on board, and that's going to be game 2 going to Anthony Miskar.
Well done, well done. Seeing the power of the creatures that Control has in their sideboard can make a huge difference late in the game. Able to stabilize off the Kitty Cat and the Torrential Gearhulk. I wonder if he's going to rethink any of his sideboard choices here. I know Mishkar tends to side cards in and out depending on whether or not he's on the play or the draw.
Yeah, that's pretty normal practice. Because sometimes if you're on the draw, you kind of have to go with the cards that cost fewer mana, even if they're more softer control cards.
I think the main card is Censor, too, that ends up getting taken in and out.
Yeah, because Censor's pretty useless if you're on the draw. And if you're on the play, you like it. If you're on the draw, you'd rather have just like regular Essence Scatters, and maybe you take out Farm to Market. I don't know. Farm to Market seems like it's too important. I'm not terribly
He's got
familiar.
so many creatures. You need all of the options of removal you can possibly get, I think, at least.
Yeah, you should probably just leave those in. I'm just trying to struggle to think of what else the blue-white approach deck has that costs less than 3 mana that could help here. Maybe Ether Meltdown? These decks did used to play Ether Meltdown.
Interesting.
Not too long ago.
So yeah, it looks like both of them are reaching into the board for this game 3 to try to tweak with the ratios at least.
The cool thing about Ether Meltdown is it's enchant creature or vehicle. So even if that Ether Sphere Harvester is uncrewed, if he sees it, a Meltdown would be able to shrink its power to nothing.
That's weird. How cool is that?
Yeah. The aura doesn't fall off even if it stops being a creature.
Alright, the tension is mounting here, 1-1 with both of these players. D-Rod is just thinking to himself, man, I gotta get in there fast, I gotta get in there hard, and I have to pray he doesn't get a settle the wreckage on me.
Well, he's on the play, so that job's going to be a lot easier in this situation than it would have been in the previous game.
And he has landed at least one settle on each of these games. I imagine he's playing 4 copies.
I think he is. I think if you're going to be playing Blue-White Approach in this shop, you should. We're starting to see Mono Red come back. So that's why you're not seeing as many approach decks as there used to be around here. So the ones that remain do run the full playset, I believe.
Yeah, I see. If I'm not mistaken, I think I've been seeing Settle the Wreckage slowly making its way into the modern metagame as well, like as one-ofs in a couple of the control builds.
That's interesting because I haven't seen any of those decks in control because, I mean, it's a narrower answer than something like a Cryptic Command or a Supreme Verdict.
Extremely unexpected, though, and against some of the creature decks, which, I mean, aren't extremely prevalent, still really powerful. I don't know.
You run that thing out against humans. Humans just kind of has to get that one basic land it has and then just get blown out.
Yeah, that is an insanely good answer to humans. Maybe that's one reason why it's getting to see a little play, the prevalence of humans in the top 8s round.
Yeah, we just had a humans deck win GP Phoenix last week, right?
Yeah. That's awesome. It's such a great deck. I'm glad it's doing well.
And you know, speaking of standard legal cards, what's the sick tech that Phoenix deck brought in? 2 copies of Direfleet Daredevil,
Oh yeah, the reverse Snapcaster.
Bizarro Snapcaster.
That's a really cool card. I'm glad that there are some things in Standard that are powerful enough. Hopefully when Dominaria comes around, we'll get to see even more of that happening.
Yeah, we've got a lot of people around NeverBoard talking about Dominaria, speculating on what's going to be good in Standard, what's going to be good in Modern. I've been hearing a lot of gushing about elves of all things.
Yeah, it's very interesting. They are getting some new cards, right? There's that one that's like every time an elf comes into play, it gets a counter, and then you add mana equal to its power to your mana pool by tapping it.
Yeah, something like that.
It's pretty good.
I don't know if it's as good as Archdruid, but
Nah, I don't think so.
something worth considering at least.
One I'm curious to know is whether they're going to be played. I'm sure D-Rod's deck would like it. It's that Cast Down card.
Oh yes, destroy target non-legendary creature. For a black and a colorless, they're saying it's the next Doomblade, and it is.
Yeah, even better.
Dice to Doomblade, you know that old adage. Why aren't you playing this creature? Dice to Doomblade. But it's Baneslayer Angel. Dice to Doomblade. It has pro demons, not pro black in general.
Alright, really good start here. That should be his second energy. Hopefully he corrects that.
He does.
Okay, good. And look at that. These little dudes, they peck in for a lot of damage, and he's just blowing up his board.
Whoa, what is that? What are those? 2 power creatures. We'll see if D-Rod decides to use the upkeep trigger of this Glint Sleeve Siphoner. Yep.
There he
Points
goes.
right to it.
Smart play, smart play. You need to replenish your hand after just dumping it all out like that. He does not need to fear settle the wreckage, so worst thing that's going to happen here is maybe one of his creatures goes down. But nothing. He takes the damage.
This card not even showing him farming to market, just taking it to the face. And there's a Bone Picker. That's going to get disallowed. But is it going to be enough? He needs that 4th land for Settle the Wreckage. There's a Field of Ruin, so he's got it up.
Oh, man.
What does Rodriguez do
I think
here?
this is a bluff.
You think this is a bluff?
I do. I don't know why.
I don't know. He's got 4 off.
I'm reading his hand. I'm reading it. He's got tells in his finger flicks.
Oh, we'll find out. D-Rod swinging with just enough. That's exactly 6. I mean, well, it's exactly 5 technically, but the life loss from the...
Oh,
Wow!
man. And he doesn't
Wow!
have it. He had a glimmer in hand. And Aggro literally, that was fast as heck. Right on curve, dealing enough damage. That's what, turn 4?
Turn 5.
Turn 5.
KO. Anthony's turn 4. Wow.
Great match, and we're going to see Mishkar go down. The sideboarding of the Caracols were not enough to deal with that extremely fast showing there in the final round of that match.
Well, guys, thanks for watching again. Please like, comment, subscribe. We'd love to hear from you. NeverBoard gaming community, congratulations to D-Rod. Good job by Anthony Mishkar as well. Unfortunately, couldn't get to turn 5, the critical turn 5 in that last game. But, hey, what are you going to do? It was a good match.
Truly. Have a good one, everyone. Like, comment, subscribe.
Peace out.